World Tournament units are finally getting an EZA, so start prepping them now. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the units that are about to EZA on the upcoming World Tournament on Global Dokkan. The tournament is scheduled for April 20th, so that is in just about 2 days from the time of the release of this video. So in this video, I'm going to go over the units, take a look at what they do, tell you why you should go out of your way to grind out the super attack, how to grind out the super attack, and what you're going to need to do to get the medals to awaken these guys, because I'm telling you, it is worth it. So let's go ahead and start with the big ticket item here, and that is the LR Piccolo here. So let's find him. Here we go. The Budding Heart LR Piccolo. Once Extreme Z Awakened, this guy becomes all types, Key 3, HP 150, and attack and defense 90%. So not the best free-to-play leader skill, but still a fairly decent one, right? He does cause colossal damage to the enemy and lowers attack on his 12 key. On his 18 key, he is causing mega colossal damage and raising allies' attack by 30% for 1 turn. Now, I want you to pay close attention to that 18 key super attack, because he's one of the few units that is actually going to be able to take advantage of it. So, he gets Key 3 and defense 200%. He raises his attack by up to 200%. The more HP they're remaining, the greater the stat boost. He gives all allies Key 1 and defense 20%. He also gets an additional Key 1 and defense 20% for all allies when there is an ally who includes Gohan Kid on the team. He also has an additional defense 100% and guards all attacks as the first attacker in turn when there is an ally whose name includes Gohan Kid attacking in the same turn. Now, this guy did release during JP's anniversary alongside their Carnival LRs. I can show you guys this guy here real quick. This LR Carnival Gohan, who's actually really good. They work really well together on the same team. But on Global Dokkan, we do still have a few Kid Gohans that can work well with him, like the AGL Kid Gohan here. We have a few units that can be used in place of him to activate his full passive until this guy does come to global. So there's not really an issue with that, and then even then he's still pretty good. So you do want to make sure you take some time to get this guy ready, because this is an incredible passive. It makes him an incredible slot 1 tank for that Gohan while that Gohan builds up, or even your AGL Gohan while your AGL Gohan builds up. He is really good on a Bond and Master and Disciple team where you can include those characters. Who else do we have? We also have the EZA for this Bardock. Of the 3 TUR units, I would argue that he's probably not the best of the 3, but let's still take a look at what he does. So he is greatly raising attack and defense for 1 turn. He has attack defense 130%. He has an additional attack and defense 40% with each super attack performed, up to 80. And AGL and STR types get 3 key and attack 50%, and he has attack effective against all types when 70% are low. So he's a type support for 50%. I will say that this is actually pretty huge, right? Granted, it is only attack, it is not defense, right? It is a 50% type support who were previously locked to those type support banners. So that's pretty good. He is alright, post super attack and defense wise. He's not the best unit, but if you needed a filler for a low class warrior team, he's definitely going to fill the role for you while supporting any of your AGL or STR types on the team. Up next, we have this Super Saiyan Goku. This guy is actually pretty good for the legendary existence category. He gives tech, int, and STRs as a leader, Key 3, HP attack defense 80%. But, you know, you're probably not running this guy as a leader anyways. On his super attack, he is greatly raising attack and defense for 1 turn, causing supreme damage to the enemy. His passive is attack and defense 130% at the start of the turn, and an additional attack and defense 50% when performing a super attack. He gives all allies key 1 and attack and defense 25%. Legendary existence allies, however, get an extra attack defense 15% and a critical hit chance of 7%. He also has an additional 50% and a high chance of performing a critical hit when you are facing Frieza category enemies. So honestly, he's pretty good. He's not terrible. He's kind of exactly what you want and what you would expect from a free-to-play EZA. So all in all, not that bad. He is support. I kind of think that is the way to go with free-to-play EZAs. Give them some viability by giving them some support, especially because, you know, most support units are locked behind banner units, which if you're a free-to-play or low-to-play player may not always have gone your way to get those extra support. So having free-to-play support options is always a good, especially when it's a limited category like this, like the legendary existence one, right? So moving on, we also have this Gohan, who I would say is probably the best of the TUR EZAs, right? He is AGL Tech and Fizz, Key 3, HP Attack Defense 80%. He raises defense infinitely. He massively raises attack for 1 turn and causes supreme damage. He has attack defense 120%. He has an additional attack defense 40% when performing a super attack. He gives AGL, Tech, and Fizz types, Key 2, attack defense 30%. He also gives an additional defense 100. He also gets an additional defense 120% and an additional attack and defense to AGL, Tech, and Fizz types when he is the 3rd attacker in the turn. So he is stacking defense infinitely, but providing 50% support for those 3 types when he is the 3rd attacker. So that's kind of one of those things where you're going to have to weigh your options. Do you let him build in the 3rd slot, which could slow down his ability to raise? But the trade-off is you give your units on the squad 50% more in support. It really is going to depend on how you run him. But all in all, he is probably the best of the TUR EZAs, and from what I've seen of him on JP, he does build rather quickly, right? Especially you got a bunch of additionals invested in him. So gonna be pretty psyched to see all of these guys awaken. But now my question, your question is probably, what do you have to do to get your hands on them? Because normally you would have to summon on a World Tournament banners. And if you're someone who's playing for a while, you've probably got a few of these characters already. However, you know, maybe some of the LRs have been kind of hard to come by, but have no fear. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to get them. So starting with the Piccolo, right? For the Piccolo, if I can find it here, where is it? Local wins? No, not unlocal wins. Yeah, okay, here it is. So for your cumulative wins for each of the characters, we'll start here, right? So you get 10 wins, you'll get at least 1 copy of the Goku. Get 15 wins, you'll get 1 copy of the Bardock. Get 20 wins, you'll get 1 copy of the Gohan. So that's really, really helpful for you players who don't have any of these characters. Like, I'm looking forward to picking up the Bardock because he's actually the only one I don't have. So you'll be able to pick yourself up a copy of each and, you know, a dupe of each if you've already got them by just getting your 20 wins in a row, which, you know, I always recommend you do anyways when you're running the World Tournament. Now, with points, you can grab the medal, the tickets here, which can be exchanged for the medals for the other guys, through clearing a various set amount of points. But this time, the reward for collecting 20,000 points instead of a new character, a new TUR character, it is the Piccolo. So you get 20,000 points total during your World Tournament runs, and you'll get yourself a copy of the LR Piccolo or a dupe if you've already gotten him. So please make sure you go out of your way to pick him up because, like I said, as you guys saw, he's really, really good. You can also get an extra copy of each by getting your 20 wins in a row. Like keeping your streak up, you'll get at least a dupe of each. So really, really good. Definitely worth it. As far as getting the ECA medals, like I showed you guys there, mostly just for the TURs, it's just clearing your wins, clearing your score, and you can get the tickets to exchange for the medals. However, for the Piccolo here, if I can find it, is it from locals? Yes, it's from locals. So from the local missions, if you want to get all the way, if you want to EZA him in one go, in one world tournament, you have to place in 4th to 10th place. You have to place within the top 10. Anything below top 10, and you're gonna have to come back for the next world tournament, which not quite sure when that's going to be. It can't be too far away, considering JP just got their other ones, but they I mean, Global is usually pretty dry on when it comes to World Tournament. We get them very, very sporadically throughout the year compared to JP. So just know that if you want to EZA this guy right away, you got to be in the top 10. So just be aware of that. But while you wait before this drops on the 20th, you should probably take some time right now to grind out all of these guys. So we're going to switch over, change gears a bit, and show you what you need to do to grind out the super attack for all of these guys. Since these guys awaken all with the same World Tournament autos, we don't really need to go over that. So starting with the Piccolo has an event out right now that lets you grind out at least his SA10, and that is the Garlic Jr. Attacks Demonic Threat event. Through this story event, you load up your team with heavenly events and run stage 2 here, and you can pick yourself up a bunch of copies of the STR Piccolo to then be used to feed into your Int Piccolo here, right? Where is he at? Right here. From there, you can go to, let's go to the Bardock here, right? The Bardock can be grinded out from the Battle Hardened, or the Battle Smart Brawlers event. This is pretty much the only way to get Bardocks, but he can be grinded out from this event right here. Since he's just a regular Bardock, you can pick up from this event here, which is not currently available, but if you got the extra keys, you can do it, or you can wait till STR days, which is on Thursday. So that one would have to be after the tournament, or right as the tournament is beginning, to be able to grab him up. So just be aware of that. For his event, will be dropping around the same time that the World Tournament starts at reset. For the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, this guy can be grinded out from 2 places. All right, number 1, from the Galactic Crisis Super Guy in the Galaxy event. This is probably the easiest way to pick him up, right? You go to level 8, load your team up with Hybrid Saiyans, and grind this out. He does drop as an SR Super Saiyan Gohan, so you will have to awaken him to the Super Saiyan 2, right, by collecting up the medals, and Z awakening, and then Dokkan awakening him, and then you can feed him into your Gohan. But if that is a little much for you, too much grinding for you, well, then there's always the option. If you're overflowing with incredible gems because you're somebody who link level grinds, just grab 10 copies here from the Incredible Gem shop in the Baba shop, and then do it that way. Awaken them to TUR status or UR status, and then feed him in for that 100% chance to level up his super attack. Might be the easiest way to do it if you're overflowing with gems. Up to you. And then finally, for the Super Saiyan Goku, hopefully you took some time out. You guys followed my advice in the post that I had made about grinding out as many of these Super Saiyan Gokus as you could from the April Fool's event. The drop rate was incredibly good for Bond of Parent-Child being able to pick up tons of Super Saiyan Goku. So hopefully you guys took advantage and you got yourself a bunch of copies for that Goku. However, if you missed it or you didn't do it, don't worry. There is always the tutorial stage here where you can grind out a bunch of these SR Gokus and awaken them all the way up to the Super Saiyan status. I find that this is the easiest of the events to get them before the release of that April Fool's Goku, simply because the other event was the Prime Battle event, and it's not exactly the best for picking them up. The other was the Yard Rat Goku event, but that's not available yet as of right now, so you'd have to use keys if you'd want to do that. And like with the Gohan, if that is too much work for you and you are overflowing with incredible gems, well, you've also got this option here for 100 incredible gems, 1,000 in total. You can just pick up 10 copies of this Goku, awaken them, and feed them in for the 100% chance. So definitely don't want to miss out on those. So you definitely want to make sure you spend your time doing that. We also have an awakening for a Dragon Ball Saga unit, and that is the Kid Goku here. So let's go ahead, let's take a look at him. Now, for this guy, he's alright for a DB Saga unit. I don't actually have this guy picked up, and you can't actually pick this guy up from any of the missions, right? In order to, I think, in order to get this guy, is he local? No, not from local, not from wins. Yeah, so the only way to get this guy is from the actually pulling him on the, yep. The only way to get him is to actually pull him on the banner, which you'll have to use your tickets, which I'll have a whole other video on what to do with those tickets here soon, because there's a big change coming to the World Tournament in the next World Tournament, so you don't want to be spending your tickets up just yet. So if you don't, it's the main reason I'm not going over this Goku, because there's not much you can do about him if you don't have him, right? But just so you know, he is all types, key 3, HP attack defense 70%, he raises attack defense infinitely, and causes supreme damage to the enemy. He does have key 2, attack defense 180. He launches an additional attack with a medium chance of becoming a super attack. He also has an additional attack defense 180% and launches an additional attack with a high chance of becoming a super attack when facing 2 or more enemies. He does launch an additional super attack when facing 3 or more enemies. However, in areas where you could take advantage of his stacking, you can't necessarily do that because most of those phases won't last long enough where you have these multiple enemies, but it is there, just so you know. So he's alright for grinding out his super attack. We don't currently have a stage available, but usually right after the World Tournament we get the Kid Goku stage, which then you can grind out his super attack from that stage. But anyways, guys, that is everything that is coming up with the next World Tournament here in 2 days on April 20th, and I highly recommend you go out of your way to try to at least get a copy of the Piccolo by getting your 20 million points. Even if you don't EZA the guy right away, right, in 2 World Tournaments, even as a free-to-play player, you could absolutely get your EZA medals very easily to awaken the guy. But I definitely recommend you go out of your way to do it, and while you're waiting, go ahead and get these guys ready, because some of these guys are pretty good and will be helpful. I mean, I'm working on all their links right now, so that way you guys can check them out after they drop. So anyways, guys, that is the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, tell me, which of these EZAs are you looking the most forward to? Like I said, me personally, it is the Piccolo. I'm a fan of Piccolo, and I can't wait to test this guy out. Otherwise, guys, as always, if nothing else, thanks for watching, and aloha.